What's up, tribe? This is Justin, Elevate Credit. Today is day 9, how to remove late payments. So this topic came up because I was asked last week by a fella. I had a conversation about cleaning up a credit report and removing late payments specifically. Now, I want to explain. Before you get 6 figures in funding, you need to repair your credit. You need to clean up your credit report. And when I repair credit, when I do it myself, when I take on new clients, I use what's called consumer law. And consumer law is specifically FCRA, Fair Credit Reporting Act, 15 USC 1681. So let me show you guys the website here. Okay, so this is the Cornell Law School website, and we are looking at USC, US Code, United States Code, Section 15, USC 1681. So let's see what it says here. It says Congressional Findings and Statement of Purpose. So it says, A, accuracy and fairness of credit reporting. The Congress makes the following findings. The banking system is dependent upon fair and accurate credit reporting. Inaccurate credit reports directly impair the efficiency of the banking system. Unfair credit reporting methods determine public confidence, which is essential to the continuing functioning of the banking system. Move on to number 2. An elaborate mechanism has been developed for investigating and evaluating the credit worthiness, credit standing, credit capacity, character, and general reputation of consumers. Who are the consumers? That's you and me. We're protected at the federal level by the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. And this is why they've done it. They have designed laws to protect consumers from unfair credit reporting practices. So let's read on number 3. Consumer reporting agencies here have assumed a vital role in assembling and evaluating consumer credit and other information on consumers, such as Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. They gather all this information that they are able to purchase out in the market, and they are able to generate what's called a credit report based on all that information. So it says there's no need to ensure that the consumer reporting agencies, there is a need to ensure that the consumer reporting agencies exercise their grave responsibility with fairness, partiality, and respect for consumers' right to privacy. See, so what you have to understand is you, as the consumer, you have, at the end of the day, you have the final decision on what goes on your credit report. And for the purpose of credit repair, specifically deleting late payments, let's look further here. So when I do a typical credit repair, when I'm looking at a credit report for a client, these are some of the things that I can look into. Of course, there's different sections of a credit report. There's different types of letters that we can write. These banks, institutions, credit reporting agencies, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, to remove these negative items, not just dispute, remove them permanently from your credit report. So for example, there are different letters and different sections of 15 USC 1681 that legitimately argue that these negative items cannot be on your credit report without your permission. So, for example, just look at 15 USC 1681 A2A1 exclusions, 15 USC 1681 A2B exclusions, any authorizations, 1581 1682 B A2 written accordance. They're are a ton of different sections in the FCRA that allow you to dispute any item on your credit report, any item. So we have different strategies and we have different letters that we write to these credit reporting agencies, banks, institutions to remove bankruptcy off your credit report, a charge off, get that removed, any type of collections. Legally, that cannot be on your credit report. Inquiry disputes, those are fairly easy. Late payments, we're going to look at the payment deletion letter next. Student loan deletion, get that off as well. There is a method to the madness and a way to strategically get any negative item moved off your credit report. So when it comes to late payments, let's look at, this is just a generic copy of a late payment letter. And this one is written to Experian. To whom it may concern, I received a copy of my Experian credit report and noticed some inaccurate late payments that need to be deleted. You tell them these need to be deleted. They are. You can list them. Now, before we move forward, the term accurate pursuant to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, is defined as a measure of value. For something to be considered inaccurate, it has to be something that is not of value to me, and that is determined by I, the consumer. I, consumer, have the ultimate authority. What goes on my credit report? I'll repeat that again. I, consumer, have the ultimate authority about what goes on my credit report. Let's keep these late payments that are defamation of my character are therefore inaccurate. Your company is in violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, specifically 15 USC 1681. That's what we just looked at. Pursuant to 15 USC 1681, definition of rules of construction, but more specifically, 15 USC 1681 A to AI. The law clearly states 15 USC 1681, definition of rules of construction. 2, except as provided in paragraph 3, the consumer report does not include the consumer report. That means your credit report does not include report containing, subject to section 1681 S3 of this title, any report containing information solely as to transactions or experiences between the consumer and the person making the report. Anything that's reported on your credit report is an experience between you and the consumer reporting agency or the person making the report. It's not allowed to be there. Clearly, keep reading. Clearly, exclusion means something that is not supposed to be included. The law clearly states that transactions or experiences between consumer and the person making the report are not supposed to be included in a consumer report, and this reported information was an experience of mine. Therefore, the information must be excluded, and I demand these late payments are deleted immediately. So there's one argument there. You can get late payments removed if you use consumer law correctly. The letter goes on for additional arguments. 1681 B, permissible purpose of consumer report. This one reads, in general, subject to subsection C, any consumer reporting agency may furnish a consumer report under the following circumstances and no other, in accordance with the written instructions of the consumer to whom it relates. They cannot put, I don't know about you, but I didn't write anything to these consumer reporting agencies, giving them permission to put anything, any type of negative item or any type of account on my credit report. So you see there's an argument for all of this. This was all written because of the unfair credit reporting practices of these banks, institutions, lenders. You have the control as the consumer. So terms of getting a late payment removed, yeah, absolutely possible. In terms of mailing letters, you have to remember you're not always gonna get your intended result with one mailing, right? You may, but it's more than likely you'll have to mail specifically multiple times. There's even a section in the credit report, FCRA, Fair Credit Reporting Act, that allows you to sue these consumer reporting agencies. And I know guys that have gotten judgments and won a case, gotten paid by these consumer reporting agencies because these CRAs, consumer reporting agencies, fail to delete these negative items that the consumer has the ultimate control over. So that's how to get a late payment, really any negative item removed off of your credit report. And I hope you guys found this beneficial. Son, Josiah, you are blessed, anointed. You're gonna grow up to do great things, and it's your success. So